to have a radio on batteries, and you need to have a flashlight on batteries to make sure that you can survive the first 36 hours. Things like that. That's simple things. But it starts there. The realization that not everything is plannable, not everything is going to be honky-dory in the next 20 years. I'm not saying it is going wrong tomorrow, but we have to realize it's not a given that we are in peace. And that's why we have the plans. That's why we are preparing for a conflict with Russia and the terror groups, if it comes to it, if they attack us. We're not seeking any conflict. But if they attack us, we have to be ready.
So apparently there's been reports of people panic buying radios in Sweden out of concerns that war would come to them. And I don't know if this was in response to that or not, but NATO's top military advisor basically told everybody that they should have the basic necessities that they would need to survive. Mostly just in case conflict came to the area. So like first aid, food, things like that.
Well, shit, we in those times, but I want to say shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. I actually saw this video at the beginning of last week, and I was gonna do something on it, but it kind of threw me off because when he mentioned 20 years, like over the next 20 years, which 2044 would be 20 years from today. But we ain't got no 20 years here, man, because the way that this tension is speeding up in the Middle East and the crisis around the world and this whole WHO or WF ordeal of these nations meeting together in Davos, Switzerland, discussing world events, lets us know that we're under an imminent attack. Okay, Esau doesn't have 20 years to get this thing up and running. The Most High has this man on a particular time crunch to do what he has to do so he can get him out of here. Because you have to understand that, hey, the so-called white man was only set up to rule for a short season, a little season. Okay, and I would say, honestly speaking, 20 years from now, this world will literally be destroyed. You know, I can't even speak on how this place will be in 20 years. Okay, because you see the Me Too movement, you see the TG movement. You know what I'm saying? You see the just a lot of freakism going on here. You know, and these people, they waxing worse and worse by about a second. So to say we have 20 years here, I don't think the Lord is going to suffer us to be here this long. Lord's will, he doesn't. Okay, because we're ready to go now. Okay, time is now. You devils had your rulership. You've done your damage. You've taken over the world. Okay, you've created technology. You've done a lot of things and wickedness. And it's time for you to go down. Okay, and you can see it on a commander's eye. You can see it. Pay attention to this man. You can see sheer dread and concern in this man's eyes. Okay, because they know something. They know something is coming. See, the 20-year ordeal was to give himself hope and to make himself believe that he has that much time. But he don't have that much time, man. Okay, because he knows that the nations want him down. Because I was looking at this here. These nations were shouting basically like, the hell with America. We want war. We want war. Okay, matter of fact, let me see if I can find that video real quick. Because the nations, they're rising up against E. Okay, they rising up against them, and through the Spirit, man, hey, time is enough. Look at this. It says, we don't care. We want war. This is the video. So let's see if it plays it. Political protest rocked Germany 46 minutes ago. The whole world is in rioting right now. And that's how this place is going to go out, man. Like the scriptures say, I will sweep it with the besom of destruction. That's how this place is going to go out, man. Okay, enough is enough. We at this point, it ain't going to take another 20 years for people to really hit the boiling point. People are at boiling points now. Okay, even here in the West, man, you got all types of robberies. Motherfuckers are running up on people. People getting put down. You know, it's crazy, man. Jake is being, they got weird energy. It's just nuts, man, because it's a spirit in the air. Okay, this is why brothers out here, we got to move wise, man, because, hey, things are getting ready to get critical on this side of the world. It already is. You know, from this crazy weather, it's getting bad. Let's get a couple of precepts here. I'm trying to make this straight to the point. This is the book of Jeremiah 51. And I'm going to start at verses 40s. Matter of fact, let's start at verses... let's start at verses 46, because the whole chapter really goes into the destruction of this place, which Jeremiah 51 is solely future prophecy. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 51 is a chapter that's specifically predicated to the destruction of this place, which shows you that the Most High showed the prophets visions 3,000 years ahead of time, 4,000 years ahead of time of this very day to day. Show you how powerful Yahweh Bashim Yahushua really is. It says, "Let your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land." And what's the rumor? War. As we just heard the NATO commander basically specifying, hey, prepare. Get water, get food, get shelter. You know what I'm saying? And the thing of it is, he said over a 20-year period. Nah, that's an urgent means. If you know that war is coming in 20 years, you ain't going to tell people to prepare urgently. Okay? But like Russia, you know, they're citizens and citizens of these different nations, they're being warned, like, look, we are in a conflict with the West. Things may get critical. Do what you got to do to protect yourselves. Versus over here, they're steady promoting bread, and they're telling you to go sit in a football game in negative 15-degree weather. You know what I'm saying? Get up and go to work and pay your taxes. Honestly speaking, like, you Americans, man, you are the last to know anything. And this is why this thing is going to take you as a thief. Okay? Because here the writing is on the wall, clearly. Okay? This place is getting ready to be taken out. You know, once this mark of the beast finally is instituted, which I think they're just going to bring that out of nowhere. One day you're going to wake up, this economy going to collapse. And before you know it, they're going to be saying, look, y'all got to go and get this technology in order to sustain your jobs. But, hey, when that happens, hey, we out of this joint. Okay, they ain't got to worry about us integrating back in society with that because, hey, honestly speaking, when this place go down, hey, I ain't going back to work. All right, you can forget about it. It ain't going to happen. But it says, and ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor should both come 1 year, and after that, another year should come a rumor. And violence in the land, ruler against ruler, which is world war. Okay, because we've been hearing about rumor, World War. They've been, technically the third world started right after World War II, man. Okay, because you got what they call the Cold War, then the Gulf War. You know what I'm saying? And then you had these little proxy wars that led all the way up to this particular point. So technically it did start quick. Okay, because after the Third Reich ended, you still had America that was still in odds with these nations, man. You know, those particular nations in the Middle East, Russia, which they was considered the USSR at that particular time, the former Soviet Union. But now they're forming the alliance again. So technically the Third World did come quick, but Third World was it was to play over a process of time. It didn't necessarily mean that the nukes were going to come exactly quick, but overall, according to the Lord's time, that is very quick. And like I said, World War III was playing out over a course of time, and we're finally getting ready to get to the thick of it, as we just saw those nations chanting that. All right, but it says here, violence in the land, rumor against ruler. And what's the violence? The violence is going to be from these skirmishes, as we saw those riots, those protests. Okay, you're going to have little wars in America. You're going to have maybe pocket nukes going off in these cities, because the FBI was talking about at the beginning of the new year that you can expect attacks to be on these American cities. You know, what have you with these migrants and so forth coming over here, man? They're talking about doing little things that's going to bring inconvenience into your daily lives, man. Okay, and these are the people who you, the people who you put in office. Hey, they're basically walking these people inside your societies, like literally every day. Okay, they said every month since what, 2023, and even before that, you had over 100-something, 200-something thousand migrants that came across the border every month. You know, and they was doing this for decades, man. So you got millions of those people over here. sleeper cells, soldiers ready to be on standby. You know, the Lord is not playing with you people over here. And it says here, therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon. And this is talking about America, your churches, you know, your synagogues, your particular places of worship. And it says, and her whole land should be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. And then the heaven and the earth and all that there is therein shall sing for Babylon. For the spoiler shall come to her from the north and say, as the Lord have caused the slain of Israel. No, let me read that again. It says, then the heavens and the earth and all that there's in therein shall sing for Babylon. Why? Because she's going to be destroyed. For the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, says the Lord. And what's the north? Talking about Russia. Okay, and its allies. But it says, as Babylon have caused the slain of Israel to fall, because, I mean, you look at the Negro, Latino, and Native American, we literally have been a prey in this man's hand for the last 500 plus years. Okay, you may get pulled over at a traffic stop and Esau may put 2 in the back of your head, man. All because you're reaching for your insurance. So, yeah, this place got to fall. It has too much blood here. And it says, so Babylon shall fall at the slain of all the earth, meaning all the nations are going to come against this place. It says, ye that have escaped the sword, go away and stand not still. And remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. Okay? Because the Lord is going to redeem his elect from this side of the world. Okay? And we in those times. That's why that this military commander, this NATO commander, you saw the dread in his face. You saw it in his eyes, man. But you don't have 20 years, bro. Okay? You don't have that. As a matter of fact, let's get that in Psalms 49 and 11, because this is the pride of Esau. This is the book of Psalms 49, and I'm going to start at verses 11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. And that's that pride. It says, in their dwelling places to all generations. It says they call their lands after their own names, right? Because they take over the lands and then they change the names and assume the identity of the original inhabitants of that land, in which they're not. Okay, they got something which is called critical race fact. Okay, and you can look these things up. And this is why one of those congressmen was getting at this guy. He was basically whitewashing all so-called black history, you know, but he was leaving in particular educational material behind of Edomites, because they don't want Jake history to be taught, which, you know, they give you a watered down version of Jake history. Okay, Martin Lucifer Coon, and, you know, Susan B. Anthony and all these people, they didn't really do shit for Jake, man. Okay, so regardless of that, the truth has been whitewashed. Okay, when they deface the images of our Lord, the prophets, the doctrine, you know, replacing the true doctrine with this Christianity madness, which this guy Vocab Malone is wholeheartedly defending. You know, which the small hats don't even take you serious. How the hell you gonna be considered a small hat but you believe in Christianity? But he's a government. He's set up anyway, and the Lord is gonna punch his ticket any day now too. All right, Vocab gonna get caught up in the missiles, and we gonna witness that. So scoff at that, my dude. But anyway, let's get another precept here. This is the book of Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, that thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, so you have a certain time frame before the Lord cuts you off, E. All right, so this ain't gonna take place over no 20-year period. You going down, Lord's will, within a few short months, hopefully. Okay, like Apostle R said, he said, I give your ass 20. He said, I give you 20 months, 20 weeks. But nah, very well, I could say if I can say this, and you know, I'm pretty confident in that, and I'll speak as a man. Let us say if the MOTB is passed this year and they make it mandatory this year, which is very possible, then I can say that we can be out of here real shortly. We can be out of here sooner than later. Okay, but what Esau was doing, he's trying to slow up. He's trying to drag his knuckles, because there ain't no reason why he can't. They already got the shit already set up. They got the technology. They got the infrastructure. They're just waiting on the right crisis. But he's trying to slow down because he know if he passes this microchip, then the Lord is going to take his ass down shortly after. So he's trying to add days into his kingdom, but he can't. It's all in the hands of the Heavenly Father. You know, but I pray like hell that this micro C-HIP is literally made mandated. All hope this year, man. I don't want to go another year here without that thing being unimplemented. You know, they talking about, oh, by 2030, everybody got to have it. Man, look, do that shit now, bro. Stop playing. One last precept, Revelation 16. And I'm gonna start at verses let's start at verses 12. It says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east may be prepared." China, okay, Russia, Iran. You see, because really it's a battle between the east and the west. You got the Eastern Bloc, which is NATO, not NATO, Slovakia, which is the former USSR, okay, China, and then you got the west, which is NATO and the EU, in America. Okay, so basically it's the east versus the west. And the great river Euphrates is actually drying up. You can look that up. So prophecy is being fulfilled. And it says here that the king of the east, the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And what's that? For world war. All right. And it says here, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon," which the dragon, this system, okay, this Roman Empire. It says, "And out of the mouth of the beast," okay, which we know that to be NATO, "in the mouth of the false prophet," which is your Catholic Church. It says, "For they are spirits of devils, the spirit of devils working miracles, which go forth into the kings of the earth of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty," okay, which is World War III, the battle of Armageddon. He said, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watching and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame." And we watching, and we're like these other groups out here, man, that's playing games, doing these unity camps, passing out. Man, look, we ain't got time for that shit, bro. Like, we in the time that the Lord is getting ready to make his move, and you guys are still trying to sell garment startup kits, and you're gonna get caught up in this too. It says, "And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. It is done," meaning Esau's rulership is over with. "And there were voices and thunders and lightnings and earthquake, such it was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. And the city was divided into three parts." It's talking about America right here. "And the cities and the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every man or every island fled away, and the mountains were not found." Okay, because you're going to have other islands pop up. You have government. I mean, literally, this place is going to be a whole different landmass, man. What we're seeing on the map today is not going to be nearly how it's going to look. You see? Because those missiles are going to break things up in proportion. And it says here, "And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven," which is those missiles, "every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Yahweh because of the plagues of the hell, and the plagues there was exceedingly great." So people still talk shit. And this is why the Most High is getting ready to burn this place up. But Lord's will, you will edify it to the next place. Lesson giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify it to the next lesson. Shalom.